everyone, this is Jenny's Fashion Channel. Thanks to all my amazing fans and subscribers. This channel is all about leveling up on your fashion designing skill. And today, I'll be teaching you how to cut a fitted skirt. Trust me guys, I'll be teaching you all you need to know regarding cutting your fitted skirt regardless of your size or your shape. So if it is what you are all about, you are definitely at the right place. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, now will be a very good time for you to smash on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? This pattern paper is unfurled. The first thing is to draw my baseline, which will serve as my waistline. Then the next thing is to get my hip line, and my hip line is 8 inches from my waistline. It's good for you to measure your own to know where your hip line falls. So I'm going to take 2 inches off for my band, then come down from the waistline by 6 inches and mark it. Is that understood? I'll go ahead and draw the line. Then the next thing is to get my skirt length, and I'm using 21 inches for my skirt length. It purely depends on you how long or how short you want it. I will mark it and add extra 2 inches for my hemming allowance. You can use 1.5 inches. I will draw the lines. Then the next thing is to get my skirt dart. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7, divide by 2, 3.5. I will mark it. Sorry, I didn't realize that my video went off, but I'm going to explain this line we have here. Like I said before, you will take your nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. Mine is 3.5. I will mark it. Then for you to know where your dart will end, you come up from your hip line by 2 inches, you mark and draw the line. Are we on the same page now? Then I will go in by 1/2 inch from this point and go out by 1/2 inch to form a dart. Then I will connect like so. Then I will add 1/2 inch here for my joining allowance. I will go ahead and draw the line. Then I'm going to extend this my dart here straight up to the joining allowance line. Then the next thing is to take my waist measurement, divide by 4, and the waist measurement I'm working with is 34 inches. So 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5 inches. I'll replace this dart here plus 1 inch for same allowance. It will give me about 10.5 inches. I will mark it. Then for the hip line, the hip measurement I'm working with is 42 inches. So 42 divided by 2 will give me about 21 inches. That's 21 for the front and 21 for the back. But we are not going to apportion it that way because human body is healthier behind. So we are going to remove 1 inch from the front panel and add it to the back panel. Are we on the same page? My hip measurement is 42 inches. So if I divide 42 inches by 2, it will give me 21 inches. So I'm going to minus 1 inch from the 21 inches and add that 1 inch to the back. So I'll be working with 20 inches for the front panel. So 20 inches divided by 2 will give me 10 inches. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for my seam allowance. It will give me about 11 inches. I'll mark it. I will also mark the same thing I have on my hip measurement on the full skirt length and also hemming allowance line. Then on this my full skirt length point, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches to give it that pencil effect. You can go in by 1 inch, you can go in by 2 inches. It depends on how pencil you want it. I will mark the same thing on the hemming allowance line. Then I will go ahead and connect the markings. I'll first connect my hip line down to the hemming allowance line with a straight ruler. Then I will use my curved ruler to connect the waistline down to the hip line. On this center front, I'm going to go down by 1/2 inch. This is to accommodate the stomach. If your stomach is of a medium size, you go down by 1 inch. If you have a very big stomach, I mean very big stomach, you go down by 1.5 inches. This is not going to affect the length of your skirt in any way. This is just to accommodate your stomach. I will mark it and connect it to the other end of the waistline. As you can see, we have altered the center front of the waistline. So I'm going to get a new joining allowance line, ignoring the old one. So I'm going to come up from the new waistline by 1/2 inch. I will mark it and mark the same thing all through the line. Then I will connect like this. I will cancel the initial joining allowance line so that it will not confuse us. So guys, this is all for drafting. We'll now go ahead and cut. But before cutting, we are going to fold this our hemming allowance like this, so that one tip will not be kind of shorter than the other. So guys, follow me closely. Let's cut. So guys, this is it for the front panel. It is that simple. I now move over to the back panel. This paper is unfold. So the first thing is to draw a baseline which will serve as my waistline. Then for the hip line, I'm going to go down by 8 inches like we did on the front panel, taking 2 inches off for my waistband. Then I'll mark it. I'll go down by 21 inches for my full skirt length and add 2 inches for hemming allowance. I will go ahead and draw the lines. Then I'm leaving about 2 inches here for my zipper allowance and for my hip curve. I will draw the line. The next thing is to insert my dart. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. Mine is 3.5 inches. I will mark it. Then to get where the dart will stop, I will come up from my hip line by 1 inch. I will mark it. Then I will draw the line. Then I will go in by 1/2 inch and go out by 1/2 inch to form a dart. I will connect like this. Then I'm going to add 1/2 inch to the waistline for my joining allowance. I will draw the line. Then I will extend the dart straight up to the joining allowance line. Then on the hip line, I'm going to go out by 1/2 inch. This is to give it that curvy effect. If the difference between your hip line and your waistline is above 10 inches, you go out by 1 inch. That is if your waistline is 30 and your hip line is like 42. That's 12 inches difference. You are going to go out by 1 inch. But if the difference between your waistline and your hip line is from 10 inches down, you go out by 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to connect it to the waistline like so. Then from this hip line, I'll go down by 5 inches. Then I will still connect this my hip point to meet it like so. Trust me guys, this formula works for all sizes and all shapes. The next thing is to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. The waist measurement I'm working with is 32, divide by 4. It will give me 8.5 inches. I'll replace this dart here plus 1 inch seam allowance. It will give me 10.5 inches. I will mark it. The next thing is to take my hip measurement. And the hip measurement we are working with is 42 inches. 42 divided by 2 will give me 21 inches. That's 21 for the front and 21 for the back. But remember that we removed 1 inch from the front panel. So that 1 inch we removed from the front panel, we are going to add it to the back panel. Hello? Are you following? That is, we are working with 42 inches as my hip measurement. 42 divided by 2 will give me 21 inches. That's 21 for the front panel and 21 for the back panel. But we removed 1 inch from the front panel. So that 1 inch we remove from the front panel, we are going to add it to the back panel. That's 21 for the back panel plus that 1 inch. It will give us 22 inches. Then 22 divided by 2 will give us 11 inches because this pattern paper is on fold. So I'm going to start taking my measurement from that 1/2 inch we came out with. So I will measure from there to get 11 inches for my hip measurement plus 1 inch for seam allowance. It will give me 12. I will mark it. I will mark the same hip measurement on my full skirt length and of course my hemming allowance line. Then on the full skirt length, I'm going to go in by 1.5 inches to give it that pencil effect like we did on the front panel. And I will mark it and mark the same thing on my hemming allowance line. Then I'll go ahead and connect like so. Then on this waist area, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch. This is to remove any form of bulginess on the waist area. Then I will connect it to meet the hip point like so. Then the next thing is to insert my zipper allowance, and I'm using 1 inch for my zipper allowance. You can go ahead and use 1.5 inches. On the waist area, I will take my zipper allowance from the 1/2 inch I went in with. I'll go on like so. Then I will go ahead and connect. So guys, this is all for drafting. We'll go ahead and cut. But before cutting, we are going to fold our hemming allowance like this, like we did on the front panel. Let's now cut. So guys, this is all for the back panel, and this is all I have for you for today. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe, comment, like and share. See you in my next video. Bye.